This is the entrance to this old logging camp that I'm going to show you. The trail goes in there. There's no access in here from the road because there's a fence and an old irrigation ditch. I think the loggers had a camp in here in the 40s because I found some old bottles in here, and some of these trees grew up since then. These trees are some that are pretty large. And there's a river just out past here that drops into a big canyon to the river. And it's always pretty shady in here till the drought the last few years have killed a lot of these trees. They couldn't take the heat. Under this canopy, there's quite a lot of diverse plants because I just leave them. Goes up to the base of this tree. Oh, my camera went dark. This trail I used to have going down to the river got away from me in the last couple of years. 2 years ago, we had a terrible storm. It took down a lot of trees and bent them over, and they're all bent over. The trail down to the river. Elk Creek. Looks like it's gone down. That's quite muddy. Here we are at Elk Creek. I piled some sawmill cut planks against this tree years ago to kind of preserve them. Back in the day, they cut the Douglas fir down and made these boards out of them. I put a little handrail along here. That's Elk Creek. Cody went down there and checked it out. Now I'm gonna go down. There's a cable from the logging days pushed down right here. I hooked my support onto. When I pushed on it, oh, it's still pretty solid. It cracked like it was gonna break when I pushed on it. Hooked to this Douglas fir. This is the way the trail used to go down to the river. When we came, there was a bench someone built and put right over there towards that big Douglas fir. The trail I used to use is totally gone. I had a hard time getting down here. The blackberry vines grab your legs. There's these flowers down here. Looks like something like a beaver's use this. Came through the willows right here. Down to the creek. See if there's a track. Don't see much of a track. It almost looked like a human track. It sure changed. It's nothing like it used to be. don't have the windscreen on the mic. Well, on closer examination, it looked like a dog track. The fully shown mountain man had his dog with him, came down to the river. Of course he did. This river's kind of polluted. Comes down out of the sawmill. I don't know what they might put in it. It's a pretty place to come. Used to swim in there when I first moved here. It was a whole bunch clearer than that. Well, we've had rain that muddied it up. That's what it did it. Neighbor dog knows we're here. When the neighbor up there bought the place above here, he came down here with a weed whacker and cut all the grass down along the river so he could go down there and have kind of a park, I guess. And I got angry with him, put up no trespassing signs, and told him stay on his own property. I wouldn't have minded if he would have immediately tried to change this to suit himself, like people do. Now, where's the trail? Going back up to that tree with the hand post. The birds sang me a pretty song. Cody's in there. Can't even see him. Cody. There he is. This plant's called a broadleaf. I wonder why. Are the leaves rather broad? Well, I made it back to the old logging campsite at the top of the trail. I don't know if you can see the neighbor has a house over there, but there's no access to the highway. This is where I found a lot of bottles, believe it or not. They pushed them over the edge from up here on the flatter ground. And I brought my wife out here to just to look, and she bent down and picked up a bottle, a white one. They seemed to come up out of the ground. There's poison oak in here now too, which is a hazard for every wilderness dweller. I turn around and this, from where the bottles were pushed over, goes back up to the old log camp. Keep this pretty much untouched in here. Sort of guard it because it's a sacred place. The city's right there. And this little hunk of ground has somehow been preserved for future owners to come in and log all this, probably. We get a break on our taxes for leaving the trees and not logging them. So the trees are here, and so am I. But not for long, for I will die, and the trees will live on, and on and on and on and on. The traffic's heavy because it's the weekend, plus there's a big holiday, I guess Labor Day, coming up. Hi, Cody. Hi, boy. That's a boy, Cody. That's a boy. There's fungus among us. Many assorted mushrooms here in Oregon. This tree here above our house looms large.